seen this before. I've been here for years, and yeah, mudslide.
Tonight, a strong storm hitting the west, causing widespread problems, including one house taken out by a landslide. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. Tonight, the severe weather has people on alert from Southern California to Montana, and there are more storms on the way. In California, landslides, flooding, and strong winds are the biggest concerns. Parts of the San Francisco Bay Area have taken a serious hit already, while in Southern California, fire-ravaged communities are worried about heavy rain falling on those burn areas. And in the Pacific Northwest and Montana, a mix of snow and ice are causing a lot of problems. We begin tonight's storm coverage in Sonoma County, California, where a mudslide triggered by the intense rain sent a home crashing into the Russian River today. Authorities say the house in the town of Forestville was unoccupied. Several other nearby homes had to be evacuated as well. Neighbors say it's a scene that's been repeated over the years during strong storms.
Years it just erodes, you know, the river gets wider, and people just need to be cautious that they're living on the edge of a cliffside, you know, so it happens.
KTVU meteorologist Roberta Gonzalez has been monitoring this storm as it moves through. She joins us now live with a look at what she's seeing on the roads in the Bay Area. And Roberta, you also have details on all the snow that's coming along with this storm up in the Sierra.
Yes, I do, Alex, and good evening to you. We are approximately about 40 miles to the east of the San Francisco area, the city of San Francisco. This is the East Bay. It's called the Tri-Valley. It is where Dublin, Pleasanton, and Livermore all link together. So we are on 580 East right now. We are now passing Pleasanton, slicing through its main corridor here, heading towards the Livermore area. And boy, you could surely tell that the front is passing through because we have the colder air now merging with the warmer air. Just 1 hour ago, it was 57 degrees here. Now it has dropped to 48 degrees. The winds have been blowing up to about 10 with an occasional gust as high as 46 miles per hour. We are on this particular roadway because it has been jammed for the past couple of hours. It's starting to open up a little bit, but this is the exact road, the freeway you would drive if you're heading to the greater Lake Tahoe area. And if you're doing so, boy, it was beautiful this morning. 6 inches of snow did accumulate all the way down to the lake level, which is roughly 6,200 feet. When you get to the higher elevations, by the time this system is done, we're anticipating 2 feet of fresh powder, but it's cement. It's pretty heavy, and when you have those wind gusts and the highest elevations up to 100 miles per hour, you get avalanche warnings, and that is in effect through tomorrow morning, in addition to the winter storm warning that's in effect. Another 6 inches of snow is expected at lake level and more accumulation in that higher elevation. Lots of people have been asking, can I leave for Tahoe tonight? The answer is no. Can you leave tomorrow? It's a good, safe bet. It will be dry. The snow will have ceased, but the winds are still going to be pretty breezy. It could be a double white knuckle if you're traveling to the high Sierra. Thursday and Friday, more snow is moving in with a winter storm advisory in place, but the weekend will have bluebird skies, and the skiing and the snowboarding will be at its best. So again, we're here in the Tri-Valley right now. We are in 580 East. We're heading towards the Livermore area. We still have light rain, a bit of a breeze, but for the most part, the bulk of this major storm that's been plowing up against the northern half of the state of California, it's on its way out. Alex?
All right, that sounds good. And it sounds like it's a good idea to maybe hold off on that trip up to the mountains to enjoy all of that brand new snow. Roberta, thank you for that. We turn now to Southern California. A live look here at the conditions in Los Angeles, where people in fire damaged communities are worried about rain that's coming in that could complicate the recovery efforts. In anticipation of the rain, transportation crews shut down an 8-mile stretch of Pacific Coast Highway this afternoon. That major thoroughfare runs through an area that was devastated by the Palisades fire. There's concern along hillsides along that highway that potentially they could give way with heavy rainfall. Transportation crews expect some parts of the Pacific Coast Highway will remain closed through at least Friday. First responders say people near the Eaton fire burn scar in Altadena are vulnerable to mudslides. Many homeowners have been placing sandbags near their properties in the hopes of redirecting any potential debris flows. Some of those homeowners say they feel like they're constantly being tested by severe weather.
Before the fire were the winds, and It's been completely surreal. It's like a disaster movie overlay on top of my little hometown. It's really serious here. So yeah, we've got the canyons, and if we get a heavy rain, it's gonna be different than it ever has been before.
The LA County Public Works Department is offering free sandbags to homeowners near those burn scars caused by the Eaton and Palisades fires. This storm is bringing snow and ice to the Pacific Northwest. This is a live look at conditions at Oregon's Mount Hood, where snow is continuing to pile up, and we're also seeing a lot of snow coming down even at lower elevations with this system along Oregon's coast. People woke up to snow covering their cars in the town of Astoria. Schools canceled classes to avoid putting children and their families out on those slick roadways. Snowplows out in force, all in an effort to try to keep the roads clear in that community. Snow and ice are also keeping people on alert in Northwest Washington. Fox 13's Sean Chitnis shows us what people woke up to in Whatcom County.
We are facing some of the toughest conditions in western Washington because of this storm that has come in and given us some form of snow and rain on and off since Saturday. Right now we are in the 20s, but because of that feels-like temperature with winds that can reach as much as 30 miles per hour, it can be as cold as 8 degrees or feel like that, and that's what we're facing right now. So let's show you around, see what we're dealing with in terms of the conditions on the ground right here. We're right next to a truck stop, but we're also next to the main high school here. This is State Route 543 here. And so these are the challenging conditions that folks here in Whatcom County have been dealing with, that mix of snow and ice on the roads. The Public Works Department doing their best, working around the clock to try and clear these roads, but having to focus on those main thoroughfares because there's just been so much snow and ice coming in and off over the last couple of days. This was another day where they tried to do their best and ask folks to be patient. The high school here, part of the Blaine School District, they are closed today. They made that decision yesterday because of these challenging conditions. So hopefully, as we look ahead to the rest of the week, we are expecting conditions to improve by Friday, finally start to see some of this snow and ice melt. But for now, it is another tough day where people who are lucky enough to stay home are going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, certainly dangerous driving conditions there. We're also seeing snow blanketing a lot of western Montana tonight. Video posted online shows piles of snow covering cars and homes west of Missoula. Some communities are reporting more than 10 inches piling up. Today's stormy conditions have flights behind schedule. Here's the live look at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, where more than 100 flights have been delayed today and nearly a dozen have been canceled. More than 200 flights have been delayed at San Francisco International Airport today, and just 7 flights canceled there. Airlines recommend you use their apps to track your flight status. For more on the storm, let's bring in meteorologist Mark Tamayo from KTVU, tracking this system bringing snow and rain to the west. Mark?
Yeah, very active weather day across parts of the west today, Alex, with the rain, the snow, the strong winds, and some thunderstorms. These are rainfall totals from the San Francisco Bay Area, and these numbers are just over the past 24 hours. Kentfield is just north of the Golden Gate Bridge. Over 5.5 inches of rainfall. Santa Rosa up in wine country approaching 3.5 inches. San Francisco over 3 inches. And San Jose is up to over an inch right now. So for the Bay Area, flood watch continues until 4 o'clock Wednesday morning, widespread. So the rainfall rates will continue to back off, though, later on tonight and into tomorrow morning. In Seattle today, we're showing you the cloud cover, a high today of 42 degrees, and they have the rain-snow mix for tomorrow. In fact, some periods of snow, then eventually a rain-snow mix for tomorrow. In San Francisco, we're showing you the storm clouds overhead, temperatures in the upper 50s. They actually had a severe thunderstorm warning earlier today. And then if you want the sunshine, we can show that to you as well. Look at Phoenix. Temperatures warming up there. Lots of sunshine and a warm pattern down in the desert for today. Showing you this, these are all of the flood advisories, flood warnings, and also all these the winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, as you can see here. In fact, this is a winter weather advisory in place earlier today, but you can see all at least the flood watches out until Wednesday for tomorrow morning. As we back out the maps across the west, we are showing you this. You can see the front moving across Northern California. The cold air is tucked in up here, and up in the Pacific Northwest, you definitely have been noticing that cold air. That will gradually move into Northern California. So here is the very active radar for today, but you'll notice the action is kind of sliding out to the south and to the east. So here's the plan for tomorrow. As you can see, some more snow in portions of Oregon and Washington and Northern California, but it looks like the rain actually approaches Southern California, as we've been talking about and preparing those fire zones for the rainfall. And then, as you can see, here's some another system wants to come on board. That could be for the Thursday forecast. And once that moves on out, looks like some parts of the west will actually have a break by Friday and into the weekend. So in terms of rainfall over the next 24 to 48 hours, we'll take this into Thursday and into Friday. Those numbers are adding up as that next system wants to come on board. Los Angeles downtown not expecting major accumulations, but maybe approaching a half an inch of rain. So here is the forecast over the next 3 days. Once again, it's a cold one up in Seattle with some periods of snow, maybe a rain snow mix for tomorrow. Temperatures maybe approaching 40 degrees by Thursday. In San Francisco, we have that rain cloud, not for tomorrow, but by Thursday. Los Angeles gets the rain for your Wednesday, possibly into Thursday as well. And then if you want the sunshine, the warm temperatures, we have some lower 80s. Just amazing, those readings in Phoenix. Lots of sunshine and 80 degrees. So there's the span from 38 all the way to 80 degrees, all showing up on this forecast map for tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess Arizona, the place to be if you want to escape all that rain. Mark, thank you. You can stay on top of how this storm is affecting states across the West by heading to our website, which is westcoastwrap.com. Our online coverage there includes a breakdown of how atmospheric rivers like this one form. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a brawl inside a New Mexico courtroom, and cameras captured all the chaos. Coming up, how this got started with people who were in the gallery. Plus, a new push to get people to leave one West Coast state for North Dakota. How leaders from that state are making their case to potential transplants at a major golf tournament.
3 degrees is a little brisk, but, you know, we manage it just like you guys manage the heat.
A courtroom brawl caught on video in New Mexico. This happened Friday in Albuquerque during a hearing for Alexander Ortiz, who's accused of killing his ex-girlfriend. Investigators say the victim's uncle charged the suspect and attacked him. A second man then joined in along with the defendant's father. A corrections officer was punched in the face during this melee, and ultimately 2 men were charged with battery and assault. 2 Los Angeles County prosecutors say they are planning to sue District Attorney Nathan Hochman, claiming they were retaliated against for supporting the Menendez brothers' release from prison. Brock Lunsford and Nancy Thieberg filed notices of intent to sue yesterday. Last October, the 2 advocated for the Menendez brothers to be resentenced for the 1989 murders of their parents, arguing their imprisonment no longer served justice. They say since that time, they've been demoted to lower roles in the DA's office and mocked and ridiculed. They're seeking more than $5 million in damages. The Menendez brothers' resentencing hearing is set to take place on March 20th. An Arizona woman arrested during protests over the Trump administration's immigration policies made her first court appearance today. Investigators say Shayla Furmick threw a bottle at a police drone as it was giving dispersal orders to the crowd during a demonstration at the Arizona State Capitol yesterday. That drone broke, causing an estimated $20,000 in damage. Furmick is facing 1 count of criminal damage. It was another day of immigration protests in downtown Los Angeles today. As Fox 11's Laura Diaz reports tonight, one city council member has now proposed a new ordinance meant to protect migrants.
The students were like, oh, we're going to walk out.
On the bridge named after civil rights leader Cesar Chavez, hundreds march for immigrants' rights. From LA's east side to the corridors of power, downtown LA Tuesday. Meanwhile, new legislation was introduced by LA Councilman Hugo Soto Martinez and several colleagues to protect immigrants in the city.
Los Angeles will not be complicit. We will use every single tool to protect our residents.
The new Know Your Rights campaign includes lawyer advocates and notifying work sites of ICE raids. Activists crowded the street in front of City Hall with signs and chanting.
My grandparents come here to work so hard, and then they had to get out. They had to leave because they're on a trip.
Shortly before 1 o'clock this afternoon, these large group of what was mostly students descended upon Gloria Molina Park. Many of them told me that they were from schools on the east side and they wanted their voices heard on this afternoon. The demonstration was peaceful, no arrests according to the LAPD. We saw Mexican flags flying in the wind, and flags like this one with homage to America and Mexico.
Since my mother came from Mexico and I was born here, I'm American since I'm born here. The Mexican part stands for my mother.
I'm proud of everything. I'm not going to disrespect this country. I've seen people burn the flag. No, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to show up for my people. I'm not trying to...
These kids should be in school. I know they should be in school, but at the end of the day, this is our culture. We're here to make a stand.
We walked from City Hall to Olvera Street as protesters continued their trek. The student demonstrator told me she's an AP student with dreams of being a lawyer. Her parents have no papers.
I've had a conversation with them. We've had a plan. We make sure that they know what their rights are, because regardless of where you come from, you have rights here in America.
And that was Fox 11's Laura Diaz reporting tonight from Los Angeles. The first flight carrying migrants from the U.S. to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, took off this morning. Here's a look at how the Pentagon deployed U.S. Marines to the Navy base in Cuba in anticipation of today's flight. The Marines will assist with operations led by the Department of Homeland Security. President Trump says Guantanamo Bay has the ability to hold as many as 30,000 people. The process of expanding that holding facility is expected to last for several weeks. California Governor Gavin Newsom is headed to Capitol Hill. Newsom is set to meet with leaders from the Trump administration and other legislators. The trip will be focused on securing disaster aid for the victims of the LA County wildfires. This all comes as the California Assembly just approved $50 million in funding meant to defend state policies against the Trump administration. Well, today, China retaliated against the Trump administration's newly imposed tariffs with tariffs of their own. Fox 13's Julia Sandor shows us how this back and forth over trade is driving some people in Utah to settle deals on cars.
How could tariffs impact local dealerships and their customers? I'm Julia Sandor in West Valley City, where customers tell me they're looking at new cars now before potential price increases.
I wanted to get in and just see what I can do before they hit and the prices go up.
For customers like Deanna Edwards, time is of the essence.
Well, I knew it would impact me one way or the other. I knew it would. Just my middle class status, would make a big difference in that.
At Ken Garff West Valley dealership, they're not sure how or when potential tariffs could impact their business.
Had a few customers that have orders that have called in wanting to make sure they're not going to get a tariff charged to their order, or a few people bought this weekend wanting to beat the rush. But as of today, we honestly don't know.
Rigby says while they get most of their cars in the U.S., he estimates about 1/3 of their product mix is made in Canada or Mexico. President Trump agreed to pause any tariffs on Mexico and Canada for a month. As Americans wait to see what happens with products from China, they're not sure exactly what to anticipate.
Obviously, if there was a 10 or 20% tariff put on vehicles, I think it would price a lot of them out of the market, and they wouldn't sell.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating doing it on my own.
As Edward walks around the lot and test drives some new cars, she's looking at the road ahead.
Glad I did it when I did it. Glad I did it and have friends that look out for me.
In West Valley City, Julia Sandor, Fox News.
The University of California is facing a racial discrimination lawsuit, accusing it of favoring Black and Latino students over white and Asian students in undergraduate admissions. The plaintiffs, who call themselves Students Against Racial Discrimination, filed that lawsuit yesterday. It claims the UC system is violating a 1996 state law banning the consideration of race and other factors in public education. And the suit is asking a judge to block the UC system from asking about race in its applications. The University of California has not yet commented on that lawsuit. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, convincing people here in the West to pack up and head for North Dakota. How leaders from that state are trying to make their case. Also, we'll introduce you to the Oregon Zoo's newest 200-pound baby. large fountain of lava is spewing from the Kilauea volcano on Hawaii's Big Island, and it has grown to more than 250 feet high. This is part of an ongoing eruption that began back in late December. It's paused and resumed a number of different times. The lava is flowing in a closed area of Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, and it's not threatening any homes or roads nearby. Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes. A group of tourism officials from North Dakota were out and about in Arizona today, trying to convince people there to pack up and leave the Grand Canyon state. Fox 10's Steve Nielsen shows us how they're promoting everything that North Dakota has to offer.
It's just a perfect Scottsdale afternoon.
It's not hot enough.
You want some more?
I want some more heat.
Good times, great company, good drinks, and oh yeah, there's golf too.
Oh, it's perfect. We're having the best day. We were just sitting out in the grass for like 30 minutes, just chit-chatting.
It's hard to imagine wanting to live anywhere else, right? Especially not somewhere where the weather right now is, gulp, 3 degrees.
What does 3 degrees feel like?
3 degrees is a little brisk, but you know, we manage it just like you guys manage the heat.
Sarah is the ultimate state salesman. She's taken on the tough task of selling North Dakota to Arizonans.
You know, when it's 115 degrees here, it's perfectly beautiful in North Dakota. You know, you're talking 70s, low 80s, low humidity. We've got fabulous golf courses.
The golf course part might be why the state has set up shop in Scottsdale at the Open. They've sponsored 4 tents on the tournament's biggest holes with signs and swag, all geared for a legendary life in North Dakota.
Have you noticed anyone when they walk by and see a Visit North Dakota sign, their jaw sort of drops going, what's this about?
We have. And we've also noticed the people from North Dakota that are like, what the heck? My people are here.
And their people apparently love golf too. In fact, they have more golf courses per capita than any other state.
That's not true.
You don't believe it?
No, I don't. That's false.
I'm sorry, Dorian, but it's actually true. And that's part of why they're here, to open your mind to North Dakota.
I know we've changed perceptions, and I know we've generated trips to the state.
Maybe we'll think about it in July when our lows are in the 90s. But today, it's hard to imagine wanting to be anywhere else.
All right, some beautiful weather in Arizona today. That could be a tough sell. That was Fox 10's Steve Nielsen reporting for us tonight. And by the way, North Dakota's tourism officials even have someone dressed up like former President Theodore Roosevelt, who's a North Dakota native. He's out making the rounds in Arizona, again, trying to convince people to at least come and give the state a visit. Finally tonight, the Oregon Zoo in Portland has welcomed its newest addition, a baby elephant. Rose 2, a 30-year-old Asian elephant, gave birth on Saturday after 20 months of pregnancy. The baby is about 200 pounds and is believed to be a female. This is Rose 2's third baby. Zoo staff called it one of the smoothest elephant births they have seen. The two are both healthy and bonding. It's not clear exactly at this point when Rose 2 and her baby will be ready to see visitors, but likely a lot of folks ready to see her. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching, and remember, you can stay up to date on our storm coverage and all the major stories across the West Coast at our website. That's westcoastwrap.com. A beautiful shot here of the San Francisco Bay Bridge and the skyline in the distance. Have a great night.